on behalf of Gear Gen Next, I warmly welcome you all for this special fire session. So, and Mr. Kamra need no introduction. I mean, you are the brand yourself. So, I just want to quickly ask, as a fashion brand, how important is speed of delivery when you are catering both domestic as well as the international brands?
So basically, I am into fashion which involves tailoring, right? Tailoring is the key. Bespoke, customization. That has been the backbone of my industry. And menswear, it is said fitting is everything, right? There were times when, in older times, we used to go to a tailor. There were no fashion designers. And we used to source the fabric and give it for tailoring. The tailor used to tell us, why don't you come after 1 month and we'll do a fitting. And after you go after 1 month, and the tailor would say, it's not ready, give me 3 more days or 1 more week. So the traditional tailoring method used to be very delayed. Delay was the parameter of quality. That जितना ज़्यादा time लग रहा है, उतना ही अच्छा product बनेगा. But the times have changed, and so was the origin of tailoring industry was in Savile Row, London, and that has been the birthplace of good tailoring. Till now, I went to Savile Row last year, and till now, a custom suit takes about 45 days for the first fitting. Then after 1 month, there is second fitting, and then there is a delivery after 1 month, and that yet is a parameter for good quality. But I have tried to break all the norms. In last 20 years of my being in the fashion industry, I have worked on speed. We try in our fashion house to accommodate the client as much as we can. As the speed is the key today, the tolerance levels have reduced. Everybody, especially in menswear, everybody wants the products overnight, literally. A groom would confidently come and say that I want a sherwani next week. I mean, the audacity and the confidence talks about the mindset of Gen X, which is getting married now. So we have to abide by what the customer is saying. So the speed is the key. The net result is, I have tried to develop the infrastructure wherein we can speedily give good quality, good fit, good fashion at a very progressive speed and still be able to satisfy the client. That is what I've done.
You have almost answered my 4 questions which I have listed here, but still, what do you see as from the brand positioning point of view? Does the faster delivery also help in creating the stronger brand loyalty as well as the global competitiveness?
I think the mindset has changed, so the branding parameters have totally transformed. Today, delivering good quality in a good time period is the best parameter for success and nothing else.
So, Mr. Vinamra, I mean, Alibaba is a known name. So, like from an e-commerce marketplace perspective, what tools does Alibaba provide to help Indian manufacturers connect faster with the global buyers?
Yeah, so we are very proud to represent ourselves as a digital platform, and digital as a means is always faster, right? So there are 3 things or tools I would say where we bring in that necessary, fast fashionness or necessary swift that is required. The first is scale. Now you just have to open your laptop and the window opens to 200 countries and 50 million global buyers. That is the kind of scale we are talking about. Then the second important thing would be trust. And gone are those days when people used to meet each other in trade shows, travel far, visit factories, and then understand each other to build that trust. But it happens through a lot of digital platforms like certifications, like branded platforms like Alibaba.com coming in between and verifying sellers, saying that these are the authentic sellers from India. Why don't you try the jewelry of India? Why don't you try the ethnic clothing of Rajasthan? There is a new concept that is coming on in Alibaba, which is called source by region. Previously, all buyers used to head towards one country or two countries for all their sourcing needs. That has changed a lot. Now, if I want wine, I would look the best wines in Italy. If I want ethnic clothing, I'll go to Rajasthan. That is the change in mindset of the new era of customers that we are talking about. And everything is pretty much happening digital, so you can understand how much back and forth it has reduced and increased the speed of business that is happening worldwide.
So what are the biggest bottlenecks you see in achieving the faster delivery for B2B buyers?
The bottlenecks, I would say, is understanding the buyer requirements. Because in a B2B setup specifically, sometimes you have to understand who your right buyers are. If you are like a small manufacturer who is starting up, and then you try to get in touch or bag a buyer who is like a institutional buyer somewhere in the United States, that communication will also spend a lot of time and then might not lead to the right business results. Similarly, the other way around, if you are a big seller and you are talking to somebody who is just starting up his or her Amazon store in UK, that transaction would also be a waste of time for you. So finding the right buyer for your business and helping each other grow as a partner, that will help enable you as well as your counterpart to grow their businesses, and hence that will increase the transactions in a faster way. That I would say is the first thing, to understand and find out who the right buyer is. And the second thing is about understanding your products and where your product fits the best. Again, digitalization helps it in a way, because in digital era, you can quickly try out with some samples, target some keywords in one market and see how is the response, if you are getting the right inquiries, if you are getting the right buyer. If it doesn't work out, just withdraw. Make some new samples, put in a new market and see, or maybe target a different age group of customers. That is how the buyer identification is changing. How it used to be before, either you find a buyer, send a sample by air, that would cost money to you, that will take another 7 days and find the right buyer, or maybe not, and then this process keeps on happening. So that is how digitalization is actually solving the problem. But those who are little bit old school in understanding this trend might be little lagging in the business to deal with the new era of Gen Z buyers, so to say. So I think that is another bottleneck, I would say, understanding how the market has changed and adapting to it. So yeah, these two would be my take.
So we have Sonil ji on the dais, and he is also the expert on this subject. From your perspective, how can Indian exporter leverage e-commerce to enter new market cost effectively?
Today the dynamics of the trade is changing. What I see is कि आज की डेट में what we need to have it is not just the buyer, but your back-end delivery system has to be backtracked. Because tomorrow the buyer expectation is I need this and I need this at this price and I need this at this timeline. अब ये तीनों metrics को अगर आपको match करना है, the three metrics that you need to add together, then you have to meet not only the buyer, you have to meet the product, and you have to fit the delivery timeline. And all three, if you backtrack it, ultimately it is your supply chain which is the most important part of it. Our supply chain sometimes gets neglected because we are constantly working with the same set of suppliers that we have been working for 10-20 years. Of course, that we have a comfort zone, we have a relationship, we are confident that it will happen, but the dynamics of the trades are changing. The moment you enter a new market, as Binamar rightly said, you need to understand a buyer. A buyer sitting in US may not be the same the buyer sitting in Russia or a buyer sitting in Australia. The product changes, with the product the back-end supply chain changes, and with the supply chain, if you are not geared up to adopt to the new supply chain, the entire dynamics falls apart. So the moment you go to the front side of the market, you also have to see where it is there at the back side of the market. who are the right people who can support you in the back end. That's where the efficient, trusted, sustainable supply chain comes into play. Because when you are taking this as a quotient, your chances of failure becomes much lower as compared to the other side. Because वहाँ पे आपके पास क्या है कि अगर आप fail कर दिया तो that means you will not only lose the customer, you will lose the credibility of not delivering, but also lose the credibility of the entire back-end ecosystem, which we as Indians sometimes don't see it happening. हमें लगा कि चलो एक बार आ गया चला गया तो हम next पे चले जाएंगे, which is not the case today. Today, with the e-com, of course, the gateway opens wider, but the back-end problem is how do we deliver on time? The delivery is the main question, and that's where you need to pick up that supply chain partners. Another important area is today, the moment you want to add up speed to the delivery, you need to have a supply chain which can deliver faster to you with the ready materials. वो ready materials वाली story आज की डेट में बहुत important हो गई है, where you can not only look for the product side, but you also have to see who can supply you faster. Because if you have a material in house, you can deliver in faster. I'm sure. With the manufacturer's stories, आप लोगों का पूरा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेटअप है, आपके पास अगर कपड़ा है तो आपको काट के 20 दिन में 15 दिन में डिलीवर कर सकते हो. The bottleneck is the कपड़ा, and that's when you have the supply chain here who can support you faster. तो आपके ऊपर है कि आप उसको कितनी जल्दी एक्सपेक्ट करते हो, उनके साथ कितनी जल्दी रिलेशन बना लेते हो. The better relationship you make with the supply chain, the faster they are in your support side. And ultimately you make money, they make money, and that's how the process goes again and again.
So looking at the trend, what do you see? What kind of volumes does exporter can expect from the e-commerce business model?
See, e-com pe, when we going it, one we have to figure out is कि we are not competing, and we should not be competing with Bangladesh. We should not be competing with Vietnam. As people in the morning, they said, we had a global team of Alibaba, and they said, we monitor the global data trends. We monitor the global buying history. What we see in India, particularly the lady was here, she visited some factories in Jaipur, she said, whatever products that you have here, we have data matrix that there is demand for that from global buyers. Now the only thing is कि अगर वो data matrix उनके पास है, अब उस data matrix को कैसे हम leverage करें और उस price point पे fit करके कैसे deliver करें. So market में demand की कमी नहीं है. How we reach out to that market is the only thing. I mean, Alibaba can help you get to the new markets. 200 countries. You don't have to go to the same country again. Don't have to maybe go back to the US. You don't have to depend on those buyers. The world is open to us. Price point is not a problem. आज की डेट में. Buyers are ready to buy from $2 to $20, $200. You guys are also selling it for $200. तो आज की डेट में buying की भी कमी नहीं है. सिर्फ प्रोडक्ट मिक्स को बैक एंड सप्लाई चेन को बीच में लेके आना है, मिक्सिंग करना है. तो आज आई वुड से विद ई-कॉम यू स्टार्ट स्मॉल, बिल्ड दैट ट्रस्ट, एंड आज की डेट में ऑल द बायर्स आर लुकिंग फॉर स्मॉल क्वांटिटीज. द वर्ल्ड इज वेरी वेरी डायनामिक. वी डोंट हैव लॉन्ग रन, एंड व्हेनेवर वी हैव लॉन्ग रन द प्राइसिंग इज नॉट देयर. So it's better be profitable, make sure we make small quantities, 200 to 500,000 pieces, 2,000 pieces is a very good mix for India. हमारा एडवांटेज रहा है वो, तो उसी में प्ले करना चाहिए और उसके ऊपर ही हमारे को आई थिंक दैट्स आवर स्ट्रेंथ दैट वी शुड प्ले अराउंड.
E-com is now not all about just D2C business. It has grown a lot. B2B you can expect very good volumes. Right? So just out of curiosity, Mr. Kamra, I would like to ask on challenges that we as a factory owner also face. What challenges do premium or the designer label face in alignment, craftsmanship with the e-commerce speed?
So basically, as you said, right now the premium market is not yet ready for e-commerce in terms of more than $200. As you have said specifically $200, that is, I would say, an average benchmark of any e-commerce product, which a buyer is ready to buy from a premium brand. But yes, the market is really warming up. There are stores like Purnia and there are stores like Aza, and they are doing very well with a higher bracket of online business. But yet, you know, the digitalization which personally a designer can get into that kind of, the right resources are not available for a D2C premium $1,000 or if say a $500 business. In India, if we say in rupees, a person, for example, I am selling one set for say 50,000 rupees. The client really wants to look and feel the garment, or at least we get a lot of queries on Instagram and also on my website. But the conversion only happens once the person or the client talks to my merchandiser, and we send them the swatches, then we confirm that we will take, we will give you a good free alteration, we will deliver in time. That personalization at our end is very important in India as of now. But times are changing drastically with the new technology coming in, with the custom fits which are available digitally. If that technology is adapted in the business, which we are yet to adapt, then the confidence of the customer will automatically increase, and the confidence to buy high price product will also come by. It is, I think, around the corner.
That's very good. So I think so we have covered most of the points, and I think so it was a very interesting session, and Alibaba is there. I'm seeing after Mr. Trump's tariff, Alibaba is more active now, so it's spreading everywhere. Now I was just sharing, Mr. Vinay, that I am receiving a call from Alibaba almost every day. So now there is a global shift, and e-commerce business is really important for all of us to explore, other than the bulk buyers dealings which we are doing with our customers. So yes, thank you so much. It was a very interesting session, and thank you so much.
Thank you.